welcome and bring it back. Last week I was so excited to share something that I didn't really share anything about what this channel is about. It's kind of like when you want to tell a story and you forget that one funny thing and you kind of have to backtrack a little bit. That's kind of what we're gonna do this week. I have all of these lighthearted videos planned and ideas that I want to come see to fruition, but with everything that has been happening, the world kind of feels heavy, and honestly, I'm not really sure how to make it lighter. But I do know that if I don't do something, then it just gets worse, and America becomes this place that I don't want to live in, I don't want to be a part of, and I want to make sure that this is a place where everyone is happy and has the opportunity to find their own joy. So earlier this week, my fiance and I went to a protest at our state's capital, and it was amazing to see how many people took time out of their lives to be vocal about how angry and how upsetting and frustrating this is. And I'm just so happy that there's so many people that are willing to stand in solidarity and really make their voices heard. While it's not really a fun thing to do, it's something that is necessary if we want to continue to live the way that we live with the options and the choices we have. So we did that this week. This week I decided to make a quilted bow. I made it. Well, like, you don't believe me? God. And while I talk about all of the other things that have crossed my mind this week, let me show you how I made this bow. All right, so we're gonna move into hyperdrive because truthfully, I really am not good at this. I have no idea what I'm doing. This is the first time I've ever done anything like this, and I'm just vibing it out, seeing what works, seeing what I like, and trying out different things. So I don't recommend anyone to do it this way because it was a little bit chaotic, and well, that does make sense to my brain. Chaos makes sense to my brain. I feel like there was so many better ways that I could have done this. I could have at least looked up how to quilt. I could have asked my fiance's mom, and she would have been very happy to tell me, and I just needed to do it ASAP because I wanted to try it out. I saw this photo of a quilted bow on Pinterest, and I decided that I need to figure out how to make it, and there is no stopping me this week. I don't recommend going by my tutorial. This is not a tutorial. I am not good at this. I just needed to try something and to get a win under my belt this week because it just feels crazy out there, and I think I needed some sort of sense of control. If I can make something that I set my mind to, then that would make me feel accomplished about something. So let's talk about this bow. I started off by going to this store called Austin Creative Reuse. So I started off by going to the store called Austin Creative Reuse, and they had a little section there that said you can get 2 gallon bags, which is just like Ziploc gallon bags filled with fabric scraps, 2 for $5. And I was like, that's, I think, a good deal. I don't really know anything about fabrics. So I knew I wanted to make a bow. I knew I wanted to make a quilted bow, and I thought, why not make a red quilted bow for Valentine's Day and make something cute that I can hang on my mantle next to my 2 quails. How adorable. So I filled up one of the bags with reds and pinks and all of that, and some cream colors. And then I filled a second bag with blues and cool tones, maybe thinking like of the spring anything. I don't know. I actually already have a lot of scraps that I should have referenced, but I didn't. Again, I was working fast. I wanted to get a win under my belt, and I was going to do anything to make that possible this week, except for go to my reserves. That's on me. That is on me. Anyways, I looked at the scraps, and luckily there were the polka dotted side, which is the back of this, already had, I don't know what these are called, but they kind of look like pendants, pretty pre-cut for what looks like a ribbon, a bow. And I was like, let's just work off of that, and let's not make this harder than it should be. And I just made the pattern out of that, tested out different colors, and I tried my best to add like different patterns together, and I really tried to make it look like quilty. And I think I did a pretty good job. I realized how hard it is to get seams to line up, and I'm sure it would be better if I did this the proper way, but I didn't. I gave myself a few hours each day, and I said, I want to finish this today, and I have 2 hours, let's go. Again, I don't recommend this as a tutorial, but this is how I get things done with ADHD. Everything is a game. Everything's a game. So while I'm putting these pieces together, let's talk about Bring It Back and what the plan is here. Last month, I quit my job. It wasn't a dramatic exit, no throwing papers in the air or announcing via mass email that I'm quitting. It was more of a quiet realization that over the past few months, I wasn't treating myself kindly because of this job. And it wasn't because of that job, it was because of job. And I was pouring all of my mental energy into work and really leaving nothing for myself or my family, or leaving space for the things that I wanted to do, or even potential of doing. Like, I wanted to do this a long time ago, but I didn't know how I could get that done. I had no energy left at the end of the day to do anything I wanted to do. I just felt so lost and helpless and just like a drone for the man. So I needed a reset. I needed to reclaim what was left of myself, and I quit. And then I needed something to do. I needed a path to my purpose, if you will. So I created Bring It Back. I knew that all I want to do is reconnect with the things that make me feel joy. I enjoy thrifting and finding things secondhand. I love estate sales. I love reading about history. And I thought I could bring you with me as I realize things. But within these last few weeks, something unexpected happened to me. As I was trying to create the building blocks of Bring It Back, I noticed a shift in myself. I realized that when I wasn't constantly thinking about all of the tasks that keep piling up, all of the emails that come in, and the bills that I have to pay, that I'm able to actually do basic things like put away the dishes or cook a decent meal or even wash my face. And I know it's just one of those things that people seem to overlook, but when I looked at my life, everything was a task, and paying a bill for work was the same as creating a meal for dinner. They just both felt like tasks on my task list, and it just felt like too much, and I could feel myself falling farther and farther away from the person that I thought I was. I lost myself. I was giving everything to my jobs, and there wasn't much left for me. So I knew that if I didn't try something different, if I didn't shake up everything that I knew, then who would I become? Who did I actually want to become? Or what would I even do? All I've ever known is sticking to a 9-to-5 job. I knew that if you did that, then you'll be able to retire and you'll somehow figure out what to do with the rest of your time along the way. I thought if you try out different jobs, then you'll get closer and closer to the one that's perfect for you. And if you can't find that perfect feeling from a job, then that's what hobbies were for. But how do you hobby when you spend your time working? And when I do have time for hobbies, it always felt like there's a nagging feeling that I should be more productive. Like rest isn't productive. And so many people make additional incomes with their hobbies. Like if I like to play video games, I like watching people play video games, then does that mean I should become a streamer? If I'm gonna play video games, I might as well make money from it, right? I don't know, it just felt like there wasn't any winning to this. And last year I tried to dial it back. I tried to stick to my 9-to-5 and tried to take fewer commitments, and I got more rest, sure, but then I was just pouring it back into the job, not into me, not into what I wanted, because I didn't know how to give myself care and give myself rest. So I poured it back into my job, and that just gave me more work, more space to do more work. And I knew that if I didn't put a hard stop on this, then the years would pass me by and I wasn't sure who I would become because of it. It may seem so simple, so obvious. Just don't give all your energy to work. You can half-ass it, right? No. ADHD doesn't give me that option. Everything is equal, and everything is a priority, and everything is work. I think above all, in this time that I've had, I've realized that I can do all of the tasks and I can take care of myself, but I've just never had the time to understand how to take care of myself and how to not have all of the priorities feeling equal to each other. I'm always afraid of dropping the ball, and unfortunately, I'm the ball that gets dropped most of the time. And other people seem to have figured it out, but I needed this time to allow taking care of myself to be the number one thing on my task list. Very privileged of me to be able to take time off and learn and understand who I am. And I wish everyone has this opportunity to figure out who they are so that their life can be a little bit easier. I also want to point out that taking care of yourself is a monumental task in itself, and there's so many people that have to take care of not only themselves but their family, their friends. It just feels like such a selfish thing to be able to take care of yourself, but I know I wasn't able to be a good partner, a good functioning person of our house when I wasn't taking care of myself mentally or physically. And time is a wonderful thing, and time is an expensive thing, and it's hard to take care of yourself and to take that leap. But if you can, do it. As I've spent the last few years here on this world, and I've done all that I can to make sure that everyone else around me is happy. I wasn't making sure that I was being taken care of, and I think it's time to change that. I made this leap so that I can learn how to be better for myself and be able to take care of myself and be with my friends and family and celebrate their successes, be outdoors, enjoy the sunlight, touch the grass, and make a nice meal every once in a while. I'm excited about where everything is going to take me, who I'm going to become because of this, what parts of my personality will stay strong and what parts will flourish. I think it's exciting to see how your life changes through difficult times, and I did it. I made this bow. I created a patchwork bow that I will now be using as a metaphorical representation of all of my trials and tribulations patched together into this bow that I tried and that I succeeded, and that I can do things that I put my mind to, and I just got to keep working at it. Look at her. She's adorable. Some people really don't get humor. See you later.